Hello students, today we will learn about Introduction to Java. Java is a third generation programming language originally developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems. Java was released in 1995 as a core component of Sun Microsystems Java platform. Java can be used to write computer applications that play games, store data, or do any other activities that computer software can do. Java applications are usually platform independent, which means that Java applications can be run on any platform. The term platform refers to a combination of hardware configuration and system software, operating system. For example, most applications used for the internet and mobile phones are developed in Java. Though we have different combinations of hardware, mobile sets and operating systems, yet we can run these applications with utmost ease. Java is also used to build small application modules called applets, which can be embedded in web pages. Such modules make it possible for a user to interact with a web page. Java is used all over the world for various types of projects. It is one of the fastest growing programming technologies of all time. Students, let us know more. Java programming language. Number 1 development platform. 9 million Java developers. 3 million mobile phones run Java. 97% enterprise desktops run Java. 100% of Blu-ray disc players run Java. Before moving forward, let us first discuss about history of Java. Java was developed by James Gosling and the two other developers named Arthur Van Hoff and Andy Bechtolsheim at Sun Microsystems Incorporation in 1991. Originally, Java was started as an elite project for the development of a program for interactive television for Sun named Green. Another way was to find a way for different consumer electronic devices like television set-top boxes, microwave ovens, washing machines, toasters and other electronic devices to communicate with them using a common language. This language for electronic devices was originally named Oak, which was later renamed as Java in 1995. However, with the emergence of the Internet and World Wide Web, Java became the computer language for Internet or the web, because the Web too demanded platform-independent application programs. Over a period of time, new enhanced versions of Java have been released. The latest version of Java is Java SE 8 Update 25, released on 14th October 2014. It is not supported on Windows XP. Here, history of Java. 1990. A team of Sun Microsystems programmers headed by James Gosling was formed to develop special software that could be used for consumer electronic devices. 1991. A new language, Oak, was introduced by the team. 1992. A team known as Green Project Team by Sun demonstrated the application of their new language to control a list of home appliances. 1993. This team developed a hot Java to explode on the internet and transform the text-based internet into a graphical-rich environment. 1995. Oak was named as Java. 1996. Java language became famous for internet programming as well as for general-purpose object-oriented language. 1997. Java Development Kit JDK 1.1 was released by Sun Microsystems. 1998. Sun releases Software Development Kit JDK 1.2. 1999. Sun releases Java 2 Platform Standard Edition J2SE and Java 2 Enterprise Edition J2EE. 2000. J2SE with JDK 1.3 was released. 2002. J2SE with JDK 1.4 was released. 2004. J2SE with JDK 5.0 was released. 2006. On 11 December 2006, J2SE6 was released. 2009, the NetBeans IDE is Developers.com's 2009 Product of the Year. 2010, Oracle acquires Sun Microsystems. 2011, J2SE7 was released, named as Java 7. 2014, Java SE8 Update 25 JDK 8U25 was released on 14th of October 2014. Let us talk about features of Java. The main features of Java are compiled and interpreted. A program written in any language needs to be either compiled or interpreted into a machine code. But Java comes with both these approaches, thus making Java a two-stage system. Java compiler translates Java code into bytecode instructions, and Java interpreter further converts this code into object code. Platform independent. The concept of write once, run anywhere is one of the most important features of Java, which makes it a very powerful language. Java program has to be written only once and can be executed on different platforms without any modification in the source code. Java applications can run on almost every platform provided it has Java Runtime Environment (JRE). For example, most of the applications used for internet and mobiles are developed in Java. These applications can be run on different combinations of hardware and operating system with utmost ease. Object-oriented. Java is a purely object-oriented programming language. In Java, programs, code and data exist in the form of objects and classes. Java comes with a vast set of classes which are organized in packages that can be used in programs. Robust. Java has a unique compilation system in which compiler checks the program errors and interpreter checks any runtime errors and makes the system secure. This two-step compilation makes Java a robust language. Distributed. Java is used to develop various network protocols such as HTTP and FTP. Such protocols play a very important role in accessing files from any machine on the internet. That means multiple programmers at multiple remote locations can work together. Dynamic. While using a Java application, a user can get the required files dynamically. We can access files stored on a local drive or from a computer at a remote location anywhere in the world. Multi-threaded. Java is also a multi-threaded programming language. Multi-threading works in a similar way as multiple processes run in an application. To understand it, let us take the example of a Java game. Although the game is a single program, yet different threads within the game manage scores, graphics, and hundreds of core features that the game has. Hence, a single application executes multiple threads together that enhance the capabilities of a program. Secure. Java is specially designed to provide safe and secure access view. It uses an encryption system to allow the Java applications to transmit data over the internet in an encrypted format. In this manner, it makes data transmission secure and protects the Java application from any unauthorized access or misuse. Supports multimedia. Java is ideally suited for integration of graphics, animations, images, and videos in internet environment. Hence, attractive and interactive interfaces can be designed using Java. Available free of cost. Java is an open product. It can be downloaded and distributed freely. Java has various useful features that make it a complete programming language in all aspects. Thus, we can say, Java is a general-purpose, robust, class-based, object-oriented language that is specifically designed to build platform-independent applications. It facilitates the application developers with the feature of write once, run anywhere. Alright, let us know more. Oracle acquired Sun Microsystems in 2010 and all subsequent releases of Java are licensed by Oracle. Oracle is planning the next major release of Java SE9 in 2016. Let us discuss about types of Java programs. Java is used to create two types of applications, which are described as follows. Standalone applications. Standalone refers to those Java programs that run independently on a computer without requiring external support. These applications are written to carry out certain tasks. For example, programs written in Java for inventory control, office management, fee deposit, etc. are standalone programs. In Java, every standalone application begins execution with a main method. Standalone applications can either be graphical user interface (GUI) or console-based or command user interface (CUI). Console-based applications. These applications run through a command prompt and do not have GUI-based screen. Such programs have console-based outputs. GUI-based applications. These applications accept user input through a GUI-based screen. Internet applets. Applets are small Java applications mainly used for internet programming. An applet is capable of doing many things, such as displaying graphics, playing sounds. It is also used to create animation and interactive games. Applets can be included in a web page just as an image can be incorporated in a HTML file. Applets have a built-in graphical window which provides an interaction between a user and the web pages. Unlike standalone applications, applets cannot run directly on a viewer's machine. They can be transported over the internet from one computer to another through Java-enabled browser. Most capabilities of Java are derived from its unique compilation process. Let us understand these in detail. Students, let us learn about Java compilation process. Applications are generally designed for a particular platform. For example, applications created to run a Microsoft Windows may not run on Macintosh or Linux. Therefore, software vendors have to provide different compatible versions of the same application. For example, while installing drivers for a printer, we have to choose the specific installation pack for the desired platform. Java tries to solve this problem by making platform-independent applications which can be executed on any operating system. An ordinary compiler simply converts the source code written by a user into a machine code. A machine code is dependent on a specific platform programming environment or a machine. Hence, it cannot run or execute on every machine. Such a code is called the native code. Let me tell you about Java bytecode. Java is a high-level programming language. Unlike other compilers, the Java compiler converts the source code into a format which is neither dependent on a machine nor on a platform. It produces an intermediate code in a special format called as Java bytecode. This makes a Java program highly portable as its bytecodes can be easily transferred from one system to another. Further, the bytecode is converted into an executable machine code for a particular platform by Java Virtual Machine (JVM) using the corresponding interpreter. Students, let us know more. The program or code written in a programming language is known as source code, whereas the code converted into a machine code is called an object code. Now we will discuss about Java Virtual Machine (JVM). The code written by using any programming language is either compiled or interpreted before execution, whereas in Java both operations are performed. First of all, the code is compiled into a bytecode. This bytecode is interpreted at the platform level on which the application is to be executed. For every platform, we have a special Java interpreter which interprets the Java bytecode. The devices, computers, mobiles, etc. are equipped with interpreters that can read the bytecodes called Java Virtual Machines (JVM). The presence of JVM makes it possible for any Java application to run on any machine regardless of its platform and architecture. Let us talk about Java Development Kit (JDK). It is a pack of a large number of development tools. It plays a great role in the development and execution of Java programs. JDK has hundreds of predefined classes and methods which are grouped into several packages. Most commonly used tools are Java, JavaTalk, Applet Viewer, etc. Students note the fact the process of converting a source code into a machine code is called compilation. Let us discuss about Java APIs, library support. Java API, Application Program Interface, is a collection of pre-compiled codes grouped into various functional packages that can be used while creating programs in Java. Some of the commonly used APIs are as follows. API Purpose. Number 1. Java.lang to support classes to contain string, character, math integer, thread, etc. Number 2. Java.io to support classes to deal with input-output statements. Number 3. Java.applet to support classes to generate applets. Number 4. Java.math to support mathematical functions such as square root, power, etc. Number 5. Java.awt to support Abstract Window Toolkit and also used to manage Graphical User Interface GUI. Number 6. Java.net to support classes for network-related operations and dealing with Uniform Resource Locator URL. Number 7. Java.text to support text elements such as date, time, and currency. Okay, let us understand structure of a Java program. To write a program in Java, one must follow the given sections, some of which are compulsory and others are optional. Documentation section. It is an optional section which is used to write general components on the program. These comments help a user to define the purpose and the action being taken in different steps. There are 3 ways to provide comments that would greatly help in understanding the logic applied in the program. Number 1. // comments to be written, use for single line comment. Number 2. ** comments to be written, */ use for block comments. Number 3. **** comments to be written, */ use for documentation comments. Package section. This is used to instruct the compiler that the class defined in the program belongs to a particular package. This is also an optional section. Example, package, my package. If this statement is present, it should be the first executable statement in the program. Import statement. This statement instructs the compiler to load particular classes that are defined under the package. This helps in easy execution of the program. Example, import java.lang, semicolon. This is also an optional statement. Class definition. This statement is used to define the class for the program. It is a compulsory statement. Example, class welcome, curly braces in, curly braces close. Main. Every Java application which can comprise of one or more classes must have a main method. It is a compulsory section which tells the compiler about the beginning of execution of the application. The main method must appear in a class. If an application comprises of a number of classes, only one of the classes should have the main method. A class may have several methods including main. When one executes a class with the Java interpreter, the runtime system starts by calling the class main method. The main method then calls all the other methods required to run the applications. Every program in Java must be written within a class. A class begins with a keyword class followed by an identifier, user-defined name, starting with curly braces, and ends up with closing curly braces. Let us understand this concept with the aid of an example. Steps involved in execution of Java program. Welcome Java. Source code. Compiler. Welcome class. Output. JVM. Virtual machine. Number 1. A Java program is written by using either a text editor like Notepad or an IDE like BlueJ or NetBeans and is saved as welcome.java. Number 2. The welcome Java file is then compiled using Java compiler and a new file welcome.class bytecode is obtained from it, which is portable and can be used to run on any platform. Number 3. Welcome.class is then interpreted by the JVM interpreter installed on a particular platform. Time for fact file. Access specifiers are Java keywords that determine the type of access to the member of a class. These keywords are for allowing privileges to the parts of a program. Let us discuss about Introduction to BlueJ. BlueJ is an integrated development environment specifically designed for the purpose of teaching object-oriented programming using Java. BlueJ supports fully integrated environment, graphical class structure display, graphical and textual editing, interactive object creation, built-in editor, compiler, virtual machine, debugger, etc. Easy-to-use interface, ideal for beginners. Interactive object calls, incremental application development. The BlueJ environment was developed as a part of a university research project for teaching object orientation to beginners. It was developed and maintained by a joint research group at Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia, and the University of Kent in Canterbury, UK. The project was supported by Sun Microsystems, which was later acquired by Oracle in 2010. BlueJ provides an integrated teaching environment for Java language. The BlueJ project was initially started at Monash University in Melbourne and later split and migrated to its current locations. In March 2009, the BlueJ project became free and open source software, and it was licensed under GNU, General Public License. Let us understand about installing BlueJ. BlueJ software is available for 3 different formats: Windows, Mac OS, and other operating systems like Linux. To install BlueJ in your computer, you must have J2SE version 1.4, JDK 1.4 or later installed in your computer. Generally, the latest release of JDK is recommended. Installing BlueJ in Windows. The installation file of BlueJ for Windows OS is BlueJ Setup xxx.exe, where xxx is the number of the version which is being installed. Example, if the version is 3.1.0, then the file name will be BlueJ Setup-310.exe. If you do not have this installation file, you can download it from http://www.bluej.org. Execute this file and follow the installation instructions on the screen. Step 1. When BlueJ Setup begins, it displays the welcome screen. Click on the next button as shown in the figure. Step 2. The next screen will ask you to select the installation scope. Select the option and click on Next. Step 3. In the next screen of Select Associations and Shortcuts, select all the checkboxes and click on Next. Step 4. In the next screen, select the destination folder. This will display the location where BlueJ will be installed. By default, it shows the location C:/program/file/BlueJ/. You can change the folder by clicking on the Change button. Click on Next. Step 5. After selecting the location, BlueJ will prompt the message ready to install BlueJ. Now click on Install button to install BlueJ on your computer. Step 6. The installation begins and it copies all the files to the destination folder as shown in the figure. Step 7. When installation is completed, click on Finish button. Let us understand how to start BlueJ. To start BlueJ using Windows 7, click on Start, then go to All Programs, then go to BlueJ, then go to BlueJ. We can also launch BlueJ by double-clicking on the BlueJ icon on the desktop. When BlueJ starts, it displays the welcome screen of BlueJ. To work in BlueJ environment, we have to create a project. We can write our programs within the project window. Let us start the journey of learning Java by using BlueJ. Let us learn about creating a BlueJ project. Let us create a new project in BlueJ. Click on Project menu and choose the New Project option. We will now see a dialog box named as New Project. Specify the location where you want to save the project and assign a name to it. Now click on Create button. A new project will be created. You will now see a new window containing a README file. README file generally contains useful information about the project such as project title, author, purpose of project, etc. Since it is a new project, hence these fields will be empty. To add new notes to the README file, double-click on the README file icon. This will open a text editor window where you can add useful information about the project. We have successfully completed the first step. Let us write a small piece of code to print a welcome message. However, first of all, we have to learn how to create a class using BlueJ. Alright students, let us understand how to create a class in a project. A class is the base of object-oriented programming. The entire program code, including the functions for objects, are written using a class. Let us learn how to add a new class in the BlueJ project. We can add a new class to our project in two different ways. Open the desired project and click on New Class button, or open the desired project, click on Edit menu and choose the option New Class. The Create New Class dialog box will pop up. Enter the class name and select the class type for the new class. Alright students, note that while typing the class name, we should take care of the following naming conventions. The class name should never start with a digit or integer. The first alphabet of the class name should always be in uppercase, also called upper camel case or camel case. If there are additional words in the name, then each word starts with a capital letter. For example, class scanner, class, my class. It is always a good programming practice to represent a class in this manner. In the project window, you will now find an icon representing the new class that is created. The stripes on the icon indicate that the class has not been yet compiled. However, default selection code for the class has already been created. You can click on Compile button from the left side menu to compile the new class. We have to recompile the class whenever we make any changes in the code. Now let's talk about writing or editing code for a class. Let us learn how to write or edit a small piece of code within the class. Double-click on the class icon in the project window. You will now see the default skeleton code which is already written in the class. You can either write your code based on this skeleton or you can replace it completely with your own code. You can also open the code window by right-clicking on the class icon and selecting the Open Editor option. Let us write a sample code that will display a welcome message. During this exercise, you will also learn about the significance of each keyword used in the program. Write the code in the code window as given below. This statement will create a new class named Welcome. We have already discussed the method to create a new class. If we change the name of the class here, the same name will be reflected on the class icon in the project window. Public is a Java keyword. It is an access specifier that defines the scope of a class. We will learn more about access specifiers in the following lessons. Class is a keyword that indicates that we are going to create a new class. Welcome is the name of this class, which will appear on the class icon in the project window. The first opening brace marks the beginning of this class. This statement creates a new function with the name display. The keyword public is an access specifier. Void is a Java keyword which signifies that this function will not return any result. Display brackets is the name of a function. The function name is always specified by the user and should never be a Java keyword. The second opening brace indicates the beginning of display brackets function. This statement will display a welcome message on your screen. System.out.println brackets statement is used to display text on the screen. The text to be displayed on the screen is written in double quotes. The semicolon indicates the end of a statement. In Java programming, we have to add a semicolon at the end of every statement, without which the compiler will generate a compiler error. The first closing brace indicates the end of display brackets function. The second closing braces indicates the end of welcome class. After writing the code, save the changes by clicking on the Save option in the class menu. Let us discuss about compiling a BlueJ program. Compilation is a process of converting the programming statements to a machine-level code by a compiler. To compile the code, click on the Compile button as shown in the figure. If the compiler finds an error during compilation, it highlights the incorrect section of the code. It also displays an error message at the bottom of the screen. In the code, we have written capital P in the keyword println, whereas it should have been written as println. Now make necessary corrections in the code and compile the program once again. If there are no more errors, the compiler displays the message, class compile, no syntax errors. Once the class is compiled successfully, the changes that we have made are saved automatically. Students, let us understand how to create object. Object is an instance of a class, through which the functions of the class are used. To create an object of a class, right-click on the class icon and choose the option New Class Name brackets. Class name brackets refers to the name of the class that you have created. The new keyword is used to create an object of the class. The new keyword allocates memory for the new object. You will see the practical significance of the new keyword in the coming lessons. After selecting this option, the Create Object dialog box will be displayed. In this dialog box, enter the name of instance, that is, name of the object, and click on OK. BlueJ will create an object with the defined name and will also show a red colored icon in the object bench of the project window. Executing functions through objects. You can execute the functions by either using classes or objects. Let us learn how to execute the functions using objects. Right-click on the object icon and select the desired function, that is void display. Once you select the function, it automatically gets executed. The statements written in that function will perform their respective task. In this program, the statement system.out.println brackets is used, which will display the result on the terminal window. You can clear the terminal window by selecting the Clear option from the Options menu. Let me tell you how to save program output. You can always save the program output shown in the terminal window. It is a good programming practice to save the output for future reference. Let us learn how to save the output. Click the Options menu and select the Save to File option. You will see the Save Terminal text dialog box. Specify the file name and the location where you want to save this file. Click on Save button to save the output. Students, let us understand how to open an existing project. Let us learn how to open an existing BlueJ project. In the project window, choose the Open Project option from the project menu. You will now see the Open Project dialog box. Locate and select the desired file. Now click on the Open button. This will open the desired project. Let us understand the main method. Quick recapitulation. Up till now we have learned how to create methods in a class and execute them by using an object of that class. Such a program would execute only when you manually choose a method of that class. In most of the practical scenarios, you have to create a Java executable file which can run on any machine. The previous technique will not work for such cases unless you have the main method in the code. A Java program can have many methods or functions. How does a compiler understand the flow of execution and the order in which to execute the functions? Here lies the beauty of the main method. All other methods within the code can be called using the main method. You can also write the statements directly in the main method. Let us learn this technique with the help of an example. The general syntax of writing the main method is public static void main bracket in string square brackets args bracket close curly braces in curly braces close. Let us know more. Java is a case-sensitive language, therefore uppercase and lowercase alphabets are treated differently. That means smaller main is not the same as capital main. Alright, let me tell you how to use the main method. Create a new project and add a new class name using _main to it. Double-click the class icon to open the editor window. Replace the pre-written code with the code as shown in the figure. Now close the code window. Right-click on the class icon in the project window. You will see a shortcut menu with various options. Select the main method from the list. Now you will see the method call dialog box. In this box, enter the arguments to be passed in the method or function. We will learn more about arguments in the forthcoming lessons. Click on OK button to execute the program without passing any arguments. You will get the output on the terminal window. Let us learn how to print the source code. Sometimes you wish to print the source code of a project for future reference. Let us learn how to print the source code. Open the code window and choose Print option from the class menu. You will now see the Print dialog box. Choose the name of the installed printer, number of copies and the print range. Click on OK to get the hard copy of the source code. Okay students, let me tell you how to create jar files. Jar files is an executable file of a Java project. A jar file encapsulates all related files and the source code of the project in a single unit. A complete project can be transferred from one computer to another by simply transferring its jar file. A major advantage of jar file is the ease of its execution. A jar file can be simply executed by double-clicking on its icon. Let us learn how to create a jar file. Open the desired project in the project window. Click on the project menu and select the Create Jar File option. You will now see the Create Jar File dialog box. From the main class drop-down menu, select the name of your class, that is, using _main. Now mark the checkbox adjacent to Include BlueJ Project Files option. If you want to include the source code of the project, you can also tick mark the Include Source checkbox. Now click on the Continue button. For security reasons, the source code should never be included within the jar file. At times when you need to submit a project to your teacher, you should provide the source code as well. After clicking on the Continue button, you will get the Specify Name for Jar File dialog box. Specify the file name and the location where you want to save the file. Now click on the Create button. A jar file will be created at the desired location. Let us understand how to create a documentation. Documentation means writing a project description, commenting all classes and methods in the class source code. To document a project properly, you need to open a class in the editor window. After giving comments and proper descriptions in the class's source code, you can ask BlueJ to prepare proper documentation for you. To do this, click on the Tools menu and select the Project Documentation option. Once generated, you can view the documentation for your project in a web browser. If the documentation of your project has already been created, then the following dialog box appear. If you have made no changes in your documentation comments, then click on Just Choose button. Otherwise, click on Regenerate button to include any recent changes in the documentation. Let us quickly glance through the key points discussed in this chapter. Java is a third-generation programming language originally developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems. Java is a general-purpose, robust, class-based, object-oriented language that is specifically designed to build platform-independent applications. It facilitates the application developers with the feature of write once, run anywhere. Standalone refers to those Java programs that run independently on a computer without requiring external support. These applications are written to carry out certain tasks. Applets are small Java applications mainly used for Internet programming. The Java compiler converts the source code into a format which is neither dependent on a machine nor on a platform. It produces an intermediate code in a special format called as the Java bytecode. The devices, computers, mobiles, etc. which are equipped with interpreters that can read the bytecodes are called Java Virtual Machines, JVM. JTK is a pack of a large number of development tools. It plays a great role in the development and execution of Java programs. Java API, Application Program Interface, is a collection of pre-compiled code grouped into various functional packages that can be used while creating programs in Java. BlueJ is an integrated development environment specifically designed for the purpose of teaching object-oriented programming using Java.